You always talk about me, you use the word control and manipulation a lot.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, where we'll be discussing drummers who became despised by their fellow musicians.
I get the sense, and maybe you clarify this for me, that the band weren't very nice to you afterwards. Is that fair to say?
They could have been nicer.
Number 10, Bill Ward, Black Sabbath. They were arguably the most important band in metal history, but also deeply dysfunctional. During the 70s, the other band members would frequently prank drummer Ward. This involved things like setting his beard on fire. He even almost died because of a prank in 1972 when the band spray painted him gold. In 2011, they had serious drama after the band reunion.
The end tour was, it wasn't the full lineup, it wasn't Bill, wasn't playing with us.
Ward was left out of their album, plus the subsequent tour. According to him, the contract offered was beyond unfair. According to Ozzy, he was too unhealthy to tour, and Ward was just playing the victim. Ward agreed to play with the band one final time in 2025, implying the group has finally settled things.
Ozzy just called Bill and said, you know, we're planning on doing this. Would you be a part of it? And he just said, yeah, I'll be there.
Number 9, Mike Portnoy, Dream Theater. Portnoy is potentially the most accomplished technical drummer in metal history. A co-founder of the prog metal band Dream Theater, Portnoy eventually left in 2010. Initially, the split seemed amicable, but it soon turned into drama. Portnoy claimed to want a break, but a few months later, when he tried to return, they ghosted him.
Coming back, I needed to mend the personal relationships with all the guys and make amends for possibly hurting them.
Portnoy took it personally, and it caused a schism among the fan base. One time, a fan asked him to sign a shirt featuring an album he wasn't involved in. This upset Portnoy so much, he complained about it on Facebook. Thankfully, things are cool now, with 2023 seeing his long-awaited return to Dream Theater. Number 8, Mick Fleetwood, Fleetwood Mac. Rumors is considered one of the greatest pop rock albums ever, with one of the most tumultuous recordings in history.
The heartbeat drives me mad in the stillness of memory.
At the time, the band was made up of two couples and Mick Fleetwood. Both the couples were breaking up during recording, and Mick decided to have a brief affair with Stevie Nicks.
It should be a film. It should be a play or something of that nature, because it's like so much fire and passion and guided and misguided emotions, you know. Fascinating.
Throughout the whole ordeal, he acted like the band dad, but his multiple affairs tainted his moral high ground. According to Mick, making rumors almost killed them. On the bright side, it made for an amazing breakup album, which still gets millions of plays globally. Number 7, Phil Collins, Genesis/Led Zeppelin. As the drummer for Genesis, Collins was a major driving force, contributing significantly to their success. By 1985, he was considered a legendary drummer. An even more renowned drummer was John Bonham, who founded Led Zeppelin. Bonham tragically died in 1980, so when Led Zeppelin was asked to play at Live Aid, someone had to fill in. It was their first major performance without Bonham, and they decided to bring in Phil Collins.
I wanted to come here and play with somebody, and you see, so I said to Robert, could I play? This was a while ago. And then, and I wanted to play with Eric, you see. So I just came here to play the drums, and I had a good time. So that was what I came here for.
He didn't rehearse and hadn't heard most of the songs, so the performance was diabolical. Jimmy Page and the rest of Led Zeppelin pointed the finger at Phil Collins. The set was never included on DVD releases, showing how badly Zeppelin hated the performance, and by extension, Collins. Number 6. Dave Abraise, Pearl Jam. During the peak of the 90s grunge craze, Pearl Jam signed up Dave Abraise as their drummer. He played on 2 of their biggest records, Versus and Vitalogy. Even though he killed it musically, the band couldn't stand him. Like most grunge bands, they opposed corporations. In protest, they boycotted Ticketmaster in 1994.
The bass player and guitarist for Pearl Jam found themselves at center stage in an unusual venue, a House subcommittee hearing room, where members of Congress wanted to hear about their beef with the nation's largest ticket distribution firm, Ticketmaster.
Well, Abraise didn't entirely agree with this, not sharing their anti-capitalist sentiments. Thus, they fired him in 1994 due to personality conflicts. Thankfully, in 2017, Pearl Jam invited all 5 of their former drummers to their Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction, meaning their hatred is likely a thing of the past.
We had the great Dave Abraise. He was a great drummer. He is a great drummer. He's a great fucking drummer. And we wish him well.
Number 5. Tony McCarol, Oasis. It's no secret that Noel and Liam Gallagher can be a pair of rock and roll divas.
I said maybe I don't really want to know how you got it wrong.
One example comes from 1995, specifically towards Oasis founding member Tony McCarol. Not long after their debut album Definitely Maybe was a huge success, Noel and Tony began to fall out. Noel claimed his drumming is nowhere near good enough for Oasis, which motivated him to fire him completely.
I probably made up my mind, knowing that Champagne Supernova was coming up and Don't Look Back in Anger and Wonderwall, that he wasn't going to be able to play those songs.
4 years later, in 1999, he tried suing Oasis for £18 million, claiming he was owed compensation. It ended when he was awarded £550,000 out of court. But it doesn't seem like they ever became friends again.
I was shell-shocked. Still, to this day, it's with me. I think about it every day, believe it or not.
Number 4. Pete Best, the Beatles. There are some Beatles fans who contend that Ringo wasn't as good as the drummer Pete Best.
Help me get my feet back on the ground.
The man he replaced in the group isn't even the best drummer in the Beatles. But John Lennon thought he was a lousy drummer and could barely keep time. Best later said in an interview that this was actually jealousy. Regardless of his ability, the way they cut him out was particularly harsh.
When the incident happened, it just happened completely out the blue. Yeah. There was no, forewarning, it's all about it.
Best later sued them for defamation of character, asking for $18 million. He never got this amount, though. It was settled out of court. Best has warmed up to the Beatles in recent decades, and now even has a street in Liverpool named after him.
The fact that I wasn't part of them to become the icons, but the contribution and what we achieved in the 2 years I was with them was something I can look back with fond memories.
Number 3. Mick Avery, the Kinks. The most prolific members of the Kinks were frontmen Ray and Dave Davies, followed by drummer Mick Avery. The latter was a member for 21 years between 1963 and 1984. Despite his long time with the band, Dave Davies had a lot of issues with him. This led to numerous fights, many live on stage.
I do a similar thing with my cymbal, and I caught him an unfortunate blow on the side of the head.
The most famous was in Cardiff, 1965, when Avery knocked Davies out with a cymbal stand. Things got so bad that Avery decided to leave completely in 1984. You'll be happy to hear they've since warmed up to each other. Davies even invited Avery to rejoin, but he decided to pass since it sounded exhausting.
What's it like being back together? Because it hasn't always been easy in the past, has it?
It's terrible. No, it's simmered down a bit. Yeah.
Number 2. Steven Adler, Guns N' Roses. Few rock stars have been the center of as much drama as Guns N' Roses frontman Axl Rose.
You know where you are? You in the jungle, baby! You're gonna die!
In 1985, the band hired Steven Adler to be their drummer. They then achieved global success together, which Adler enjoyed being a part of right up until 1990. By then, Adler had grown heavily dependent on substances, which Axl got quite irate about.
That's just what it is. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And I just got so involved in it that I got lost.
He even threatened to leave if Adler didn't clean up. Adler's dark habits got the better of him and eventually got him fired after being physically unable to drum. Thankfully, Adler's better now, and he's friendly with the band again. In 2012, Adler joined their induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, a ceremony that Rose decided to skip.
Hi guys, I'm Steven Adler. I play drums and the cowbell.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Lars Ulrich, Metallica. Jokes aside, there's a drummer more infamous than Animal, and his name is Lars Ulrich.
You know it's Adler.
If he wasn't a founding member of Metallica, he might have been kicked out decades ago. Some in the drumming community think he's bad at his instrument, and even James Hetfield's first impression was that his drumming was terrible. Things got most heated between Ulrich and the band during the Saint Anger era, when Ulrich replaced his snare drum with a trash can.
Why don't you try getting a more solid beat?
Regular?
Oh, well, you can call it regular.
Call it regular.
No, I'm trying not to call it regular, because I know it bugs you when I call it regular. So a little more solid then.
At one point, Hetfield said he didn't want to play if Ulrich was involved. The shambolic situation was recorded for the documentary Metallica, Some Kind of Monster, making the intense drama publicly available.
That was good.
You sure I don't have to play it again?
Yeah, I'm sure. It's good practice, though.
For what?
Were there any controversial drummers we forgot to include? Let us know in the comments below.
I know I hurt them when I left them, you know, and I always felt really bad about that. I made a decision that essentially was very selfish.